Hello guys, it's Simon. I am so frustrated. I have been spending hours trying to get my altar video done. You know, as you guys know, because I mentioned I was doing the changing up some things in my practice about doing the cleansing and re-blessing of my altar yesterday, the 28th. And I told you why and all that in a previous video. Well, I filmed it, right? I mean, I didn't film me doing it, but I did a video showing what it looked like afterwards, explaining everything that was on my altar, and it just did not want to work. It did not want to compile into one video. Some of it was getting deleted. It kept on giving me problems saying that I didn't have enough memory, so I needed to delete some stuff in order to record, and it was just... So I finally took it as a sign as that I'm not supposed to share it, that it's too intimate for me to be sharing each aspect of what it is. Um, so I don't know if maybe I'll share bits and pieces of it or what. I mean, I do want to show you guys so that you know what it looks like, so I don't know, maybe I'll do like a quick video showing you what it looks like, and I just won't explain what every piece is. But it didn't take the joy out of it. I still love it. It's just I really wanted to share with you my new journey, but the energy on this altar is so intense that it was screwing with the footage, and so sometimes it was hard to see some things, and miraculously it would get deleted, and it's like, okay, you don't want me sharing it intimately, which is fine. So, as of right now, I'm just gonna let you see what you're seeing right now. I'm not going to go into talking about it because it might mess with this footage as well. But what I will do is I'll explain the concept of it without showing it to you. Um, as you guys know, I am a Grey Witch, so I have a very balanced practice. And, well, there will be one thing on here that I'll show because Noah asked to see the, triple god symbol. I guess he couldn't make it out on the kitchen witch wand, so I'll show that one so that way he and anyone else who wants to see it can see it. Um, but as I was saying, I have a very balanced practice, and I still wanted to keep that. I still wanted to keep the Tajitu, which is the proper name of the Yin Yang, and it's actually pronounced Yin Yang, not Yin Yang. Um, so obviously that's simple. So I was applying that to my practice with black and white and masculine and feminine. So, and also incorporating that dot of opposite that's in each aspect of the Tajitu. You know, that white dot in the black section and the black dot in the white section. I incorporate some elements of that as well. Well, actually, I think it's only one element, to be honest with you. But anyway, I did take off the Himalayan salt candle holders because they were too bulky and took up too much space. One of the things, one of my main themes, I guess, or main word or main focus for this coming witch year is decluttering. I will show you one thing right now. I'll also do like a little segue to the photo that inspired me to do this, but I'm actually going to turn this shell into like a mini vision board, and I'm going to put 13 words on here that I've already picked out. Tomorrow I'll go to the library and use different fonts and colors, and I'll print them out and just lightly paste them on the inside. And the main word that is going to be in the center is declutter. And that's kind of what I did with here. I kind of just decluttered everything, took off all the past year stuff of all the decorations, dandelion blossoms, the salt, the rose petals, all of that from last year. I just decluttered it, started fresh, took some of the bulky items off, and trying to think what else did I take off. I think I took a couple other things off. I just can't remember what they were, but the salt lamps are definitely the main two culprits that had to go. They just took up way too much space, and it's a lot more spacious. A lot of the stuff is kept in like the back half of the altar, so there's a lot more space in the front. A lot of the taller items are resting in the back. I have these two boxes I'm using as kind of like to create some dimension on my altar. And so the top one, which is where you see my Black Madonna statue, has the Black Madonna and all the divine union aspects, all the masculine and feminine parts coming together as one. And then the second shelf, which is down here, you can't see. Oh, actually, you see the hand, the praying hands. You see that. That's in the center of the second shelf, as well as my working candle, which is really a crystal, and my witch's salt, and a few other things. And then on the bottom, where the altar is, the working space, it has all the tools and a bunch of other stuff that I used. And it has that shell as well. The shell actually rests in front of the second shelf. And that way I can see right at it and have those words remind me the direction that I want to take this year. I will also share that the altar symbolizes the embodiment of the earth. And that's why I do that layering decorative aspect with, the salt and the magnolia petals being first. Salt to keep it purified and sanctioned, so to speak, and the magnolia petals to keep it, in honor of me, so to speak, and to show that I am creating a relationship with my altar and everything on it, and to be loyal and work for only me, because Magnolia represents love and fidelity. So it's great for all types of relationships, the relationships to animals, to the different types of people in your life, whether they be adult or children, child, like your own offspring child, your parent, your teacher, your boss, just a friend, a lover. It's really good for all of that, and also with developing relationships with materials, especially those of the magical aspect. So I have that there for the starting year, and then, as usual, I will layer on top for each spot, adding one little thing at a time. The first thing I'll be adding is my pumpkin seeds for Samhain in the next 2 days. And then I'll just do my Yule decorations and Imbolc and so on and so forth until, Mabon, which will have the last of the decorations, and then on the 28th of next year it will start the cycle again where everything gets washed and cleansed to start over. Oh, one of the things I did want to mention was if you have holly twigs where you pick off the berries and the leaves, save the twigs because you can burn them like Palo Santo for protection, especially for the winter months, so that's a great thing to use it for. Trying to think what else I want to share. Well, I'll go back. I don't think I finished that thought, but remember that, as I was saying, the altar represents the body of the earth, and so I do that layering aspect to represent the layers of the seasons. After spring comes, all the flowers die from the heat, and they fall to the earth to become one with the earth again, with the soil. In the summer, you have, some more flowers. After that, you have some of the leaves that begin to fall during the autumn season, because now summer's over, so you have all of that falling on there. You have the grains, if they're not harvested, they fall to the earth. And during the autumn, after autumn, you have snows and, all these things that fall upon the earth, layering on top of it. Now, obviously, in the real world, it's already decomposed, and on my altar it's not going to decompose as quickly, but that's that symbolism, that reflection to bring about nature in my sacred space. Oh, I remember now. Was to show you guys this. Here you go, Noah. So, as you see here, this is my personal creation of the triple god symbol. So you have the dawn, noon, and dusk for warrior, father, sage, or youth, or son, or child, or page I've seen, or anything that represents a younger aspect. Also, I've seen apprentice, but I use warrior because I have that indigo child warrior spirit, and I just relate more to that aspect of the young god. And another word you can use for instead of sage is king. I know a lot of people will use queen instead of crone, so you could use king instead of sage as well. I hope I'm speaking loud enough, because I have you guys sitting on a rock. With this new altar setup, I'm going to be filming a little differently. There may be some times where I'll be holding the camera again instead of sitting on my altar, because it's one of the most powerful altars I've ever had, and one of the most sacred, so it doesn't feel appropriate to just sit the phone on the altar. And in fact, I was using the cauldron as a prop, and now it just seems very disrespectful to do that because of the energy that's been created upon this space. So now I'm going to sit you on a couple of rocks, so that way it kind of diffuses the energy of the phone and doesn't tamper with the energy of the altar. So I'm going to try and work with that for a while. If it doesn't work, as I've said previously, I'll go back to holding the phone. But, yeah. This is... Excuse me. Hey! Please stop that. Do excuse me, my dog was stretching and it ended up making some noise. Uh-oh. So, yep, that's the little, show and tell I guess I'll be sharing. I will be making another video which will show you my vision shell, as I'm going to call it, as I mentioned earlier, the vision shell. I will be sharing that in a new video, hopefully within the next day or two. It all depends on when I have time to go to the library and type up those words and print them off. Yeah, and I'll show you the photo that brought the inspiration. I'll probably add it at the end. I want to see if there's anything else that I want to share with you. See, I don't think I'm going to, because it didn't want me to. I ended up doing, it was a really in-depth video. It was like 3 parts, 4 parts. And I was so proud of it, and then it just like, the first part got deleted, and I kept on trying to re-record the first part, and it just wouldn't let me. So I was like, okay, I'm taking this as a sign you don't want me to share intimately, as I did in the previous video. So I just deleted all of them, and I'm just going to share with you what I have already. I don't know. Maybe in due time it will be more comfortable with sharing itself with you. It's possible that it's because it's a new altar, that it's just not ready to share. So, as always, blessed be my dear witchlings, and thank you for joining me.